Welcome to the Forsyth Barr Stadium. We're looking for it's a big day here today. It's Kaikorai playing Harbour, Kaikorai versus Harbour for the Spates Championship Shield. My name's Paul Dwyer, and with me I've got Lee Piper down on sideline. Lee, are you there, mate?
Yes, g'day Paul, how are you?
And I've got expert comments from Greg O'Brien from the Highlanders. Greg, are you looking forward to this game?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And just remember, this game brought to you today by Garador, and the filming today has been provided by Elevate Analysis. But I know that we've probably got a lot of people on the ODT live stream already, so welcome along today. So Gregory, just talking about today's game, I said in the paper yesterday that I thought that Harbour might be a chance, but Kaikorai, they tend to throw the ball around, and this ground should suit them.
Yeah, good afternoon. Well, I think both teams deserve to be here. Obviously, they've come from 5th and 6th. They've gone through some challenging games in the quarters and semis, and they've fought their way to here, so they both deserve to be here. I think we're going to see two contrasting styles. You know, Kaikorai throughout the season have been a side that have tended to move the ball and tried to move the opposition left to right across the field. Harbour's obvious strength is in their forwards, and they've got a good solid midfield too. So I think we'll see a contrast in styles, and it's going to be to see who prevails.
That's it. Harbour, they've got a very big pack. They've got that Jeff Akani at number 8. He's a big, solid man. Taylor Dale used to play lock for them, now playing at 6. You've got Ikahifo and Boston Hunt, and you've got a very, very solid front row. But they're up against Greg today, and I just think that the loose forward trio from Kaikorai, they could just about decide this game.
Yeah, as you mentioned, they're very strong, and the weather in the last month has probably suited them with a bit of the weather, inclement weather we've had. But I think there's two key players for me today. I think Nathan Hastie's going to have a big bearing on today's game. His general played a great season for the Highlanders this year. And the guy for Kaikorai is going to be Lucas Casey. For me, he's been a guy that has, as a leader and as a player, he's been able to adapt to every situation he's been in. So they'll be instrumental. So
Lee, I'll bring you in, mate. It looks like the teams are lining up in the tunnel. We've got lots of little kids from Harbour and Kaikorai about to run out. I'm just a wee bit disappointed with the crowd numbers at this stage.
Yeah, it's I guess for Harbour, most of those guys have come out. But yeah, look, it's not a bad sort of sprinkling, is it? Probably a few more will come in, but just want to echo Greg's thoughts there. I think it's going to be a different, isn't it? Because we've had pretty up and down weather in Dunedin in the last kind of month, and so particularly for Kaik last week playing at Southern, that was a great win at Southern, and it's heavy there, and down at the Harbour this time of the year also heavy, so it's going to be a complete change. But when you look at it and you go through the teams and you say, is that player better than that player? I just think on paper, for me, Kaikorai look like they might just have a slight edge, but I think the first kind of 15 minutes, if that Harbour team can get into it, Paul, and we see them starting to dominate, then yeah, it might be. But Obi's right, like that loose forward trio of McDowell and Casey particularly. McDowell's been here before, his experience will be vital, but Casey for me has been really leading this Kaikorai side, so I'd probably tip them as slight favourites in front of not a bad sort of crowd for a Prem final.
Okay, so Greg, Caleb Nielsen refereeing this game. I thought they might have gone with the top referee in Otago, but he may have done the game yesterday, I think, Otago v Southland.
He may well have, but look, Caleb's an experienced referee, so I'm sure he'll handle it correctly. And look, under the roof, the game gets pretty fast, and it's a fast-moving spectacle, so I'm sure, hopefully he'll contribute to that.
Righto, so we're just about to get underway here. As you can see, the Ben Miller moving forward. He will be taking the kickoff. Looks like Harbour are going to receive. And the Kaikorai boys will play down towards the university. And the Harbour boys, much to their joy, will be playing down to Port Chalmers, which they love. So we're about to get underway. It's Ben Miller about to get us underway in this 2025 final. Caleb Nielsen looks at his watch, checks with his assistant referees, and then we are underway. And that's it. Here he goes. Ben Miller to get us underway. Kicks it down towards the 22. Rike Milne going back for that. No, it's in fact the 15. That's Luca Fuller. And he's put it into touch on the north stand side of the field. So I would see that Kaikorai are not starting the big lock who's come in for them this week, and Will Tucker, which seems a strange decision, surely.
Yeah, well, they don't have a huge line-out without Will there, but they're very functional. I watched them last week against Southern, so they could certainly win their own ball, but he will be a target when he comes on in the second half, no doubt about that.
But they've been underestimated, this Kaikorai pack. As we saw last week, Greg, in that game, their scrum had come under a bit of pressure, but that's their scrum won them in the game late in that game against Southern when they shunted that big Southern pack off the board and got a scrum penalty to win the game.
As I said earlier, that they deserve to be here. They've won the big games, they've won the big moments, so they're a team that gives everything. Passion will be their key here.
Henry Bell to throw to this line out. They go to the back. Lucas Casey drags it down. Tane Hand's got it. Miller's got it now. Miller backs up towards the 22. He's found Slade McFarlane, who makes a nice dab. He's only 5 or 6 metres out, McFarlane. Ball comes back to Tane Hand. They go wide to Miller. Miller tries to find the hole, gets taken down 5 metres out, 5 metres in from touch. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. It's a bit slow coming back. Lucas Casey over the top of it. Haynes got it now. And now they charge at the line. They're only 2 metres away here. Hands got it again. They've got ball runners this time. It's the hooker, Henry Bell, close to the line. Can they get over and score an early try here? Ball goes to ground. Referee says play on. He's got his arm out. Might be just for a knock on. And they're right on the line now. Tane Hand in there looking for it. Miller's waiting for it. Can they get over here early and put some real pressure on Harbour? Miller's got it. Looking for an in-run. Again, it's McDowell. Can he score? He reaches out. Try to McDowell. 5-0, Kaikorai, and we're barely a minute gone in the game. Very impressive start, Gregory.
Well, every coach, every player talks about starting well, and they've just done just that. And Harbour, we worried. They went through the middle there quite easily, and then again, Slade McDowell, he went through that fence quite easily under the sticks there. So a wee bit of a fix-up there for Harbour.
Bring you in, Lee.
Yeah, so it's key players, isn't it? Like Henry Bell that they'll look to. Light-out was a good one. They threw it, they threw it long. Lucas Casey won it at the back, and then it was just about controlling the ball. Almost went over in this far left-hand corner where I am, Paul, but then swung it back, and McDowell just too strong on that inside pass and over. Great start for Kaikorai.
He's been very strong for them all year. I mean, he's probably not that old. He's probably not even 30 yet, McDowell, but he seems to have been around forever. He's played rugby for Otago. He's played for Manawatu, and Miller's just kicked that conversion. 7-0, 2 minutes gone, first half.
Well, as Lee mentioned there, McDowell and Casey are going to be influential, and it didn't take them long to have any influence on the game. 2 minutes, in fact, so there you go. Righto,
pump. They come back to halfway. And is this Rike Mean, or is this Luca Fuller putting this away? It's hard to tell from here. Looks like Luca Fuller. And they kick it down into the 22. Waiting back there is Miller. And that beautiful punt he's got. That was very impressive last week, Greg, I felt, in that game. The semi-final, his kicking game was outstanding, I thought, Miller last week.
Well, a real strength of his game is the length he can get on his kick, and he certainly punished Southern last week, and I'm sure that tactic will be the same today.
Francesconi to throw.
Key for Harbour to hit back here.
But it's been again taken down by Tane Hand. No, he's knocked that on. And again now it's now the Harbour boys storming over the 10-metre line. Hasty in there looking for it. He's got it looking for a runner. He's found Big Jeff Akani. He goes to ground. And they go wide this time to the big number 6, and Taylor Dale. He flops a pass infield, but referees then they said no, we'll go to the touch. Wee bit unorganised there, Gregory, I felt, Harbour, on that blind side.
Right.
But they're away again. Ball's out to Breen, the fullback for Kaikorai. Comes over the 22, looking for runners out wide. Beautiful tackle out wide. That could have been Wirramu Brayley for Harbour that made that tackle. Ball comes back to Kaikorai. Another good hit, but that's a good solid run. Ball goes to ground just outside the 10-metre line. Back to Miller. Miller looking for a runner. And takes the tackle. They drive up towards the halfway. Still in the hands of Miller. Comes back pretty untidy though. Harbour over the top of that, but that's going to come back on the Kaikorai side. And they go wide. Casey. Oh, that's a big hit on Casey. No arms in that tackle. And they're holding him up. They've held Casey up. What's the referee say? It's come back on the Harbour side. Now they're looking for runners. They get it wide into the hands of the wee first 5. Enrique Milne. Ball comes back on the Harbour side. But wee bit unorganised again. Smacked up this time by Ikahifo. Ball comes back to Harbour. And there's a wee knock on that tackle from Kaikorai. Referee says play on. Enrique Milne again. He's got the ball. Gets it, comes back on their side. But slow ball to Hasty. Looking for a runner. This time he finds Fidel. Ball comes back. Enrique Milne goes wide. Ball goes to ground on the 10-metre line, close to them. Then they got over the top of that, but he's offside. Again, that's what he does all day, Slade McDowell. But the referee decided he came in from the side. Penalty to Harbour.
Yeah, you can see what Kaikorai trying to do there. They just took that quick line out. They're trying to move the wide. They're trying to get Harbour running, and they've probably got good intent on that as well. They're already a few hands on hips for Harbour, so the penalty wasn't a good one to concede. Probably not a great call for McDowell with his experience, because I think his team's potentially got the edge out wide, and they're making space when they get to those edges as well. And they'll want to too, because with McDowell and Lucas Casey out there, I think they've got a real advantage when the ball is on the edge. So look for them to try and go there, but Harbour need to try and hit back and stay with it.
Francis going to throw the line out, well taken down. And then they get the drive on Harbour. This is where they're really powerful. They're getting them moving. They've really got them going backwards at a rate of knot here. And then they stiffen up and the collapses. They said ball's coming back slowly. He's offside again. Referee's got his arm out. Again, Harbour are trying to get some possession here. They go out, I think they'll probably go back for the penalty. There's probably no real advantage here. And Caleb Nielsen says we'll go back for the penalty. Offside again from Kaikorai. That's 2 in a row. Milne tries to go fast, and they've told him to hold up. They'll probably go to the corner here, Gregory, I'd imagine.
Yeah, McDowell getting a bit over-eager there, but already you can see that Kaikorai are only committing 2 or 3 to the breakdown, and they've got that picket fence across the park, and Harbour just finding it a little bit difficult to break that defence.
7-0, Kaikorai over Harbour. 7 minutes gone, first half. And it's Francisconi, the Italian boy from Venice, to throw to this line out. Again, they show him, they go at the line.
Try.
Referee says try. Not sure who that was. Lee Piper will pick that up for us. It could have been Taylor Dale, hard to tell.
Yeah, it looked like it might be, is it Sydney Vidal? Oh, sorry, for Harbour for 5. Was it Boston Hunt?
It could be Boston Hunt, you're right. It is Boston Hunt. Number 5 gets over the line. Again, that's the strength of their game, Greg O'Brien.
Well, we talked earlier about the power, and that was showed raw power there. They took that 5-metre line out. It got a wee bit fractured there, Kaikorai, and they didn't really have the ball carrier, and he went over relatively easy in the end, but great strike back.
Yeah, we talked about that, didn't we? Like that early strike from Kaikorai has just been ruled out, and really to keep in the game, Harbour probably had to at least get some points. So, yeah, disappointing. And it came back to, as we talked about, that Slade McDowell just, getting a bit over-eager, gives away 2 bang penalties, and Harbour up front, that's where their strength is, and they just allowed them to play for that, and that's why they're standing behind the sticks at the moment.
Pregame Milne, right on the 22, comes in. Can he level it up? And no problem at all to Rike Milne. So that's a convince. So it's 7-all. There's 8.5 minutes gone in the game. So back to halfway. 7-all. That's a good comeback, Greg, to be fair, from the Harbour boys after that, that early try they gave up.
Yeah, they went back to their power game. Good, strong running. Akani, as you said, played well there, and eventually a couple of, probably cheap penalties really, and they got it to the corner and were able to convert.
So Hasty in there looking for this. He's looking for runners. He's got the big number 8, Akani again. He smacks it forward, goes to ground. Ball comes back on the Harbour side. Will he put the wee kick over here? I think he's setting himself for a kick. And he puts it high in the air. Did that very well for the Highlanders this year, I felt. And there's Breen, takes it on the halfway, but gets dumped, and the Harbour boys go in after that, and they've picked it up and stolen. Then there was a wee knock on. I think he may have missed that. He's got a penalty. May have tried to rip that clear.
Yeah, well, we said Hasty might be influential. The hang time on that kick was impressive. Gave all the Harbour players time to get in and underneath and disrupt Kaikorai. It's
been one of the strengths of his game, and he put some really, he was really influential for the Highlanders in that early part of the season, Greg, with the hang time he did get.
Yeah, so just having a shot out here, Paul. So number 10 for Harbour, Milne is just selecting or having a shot at goal, but. Yeah, look, it's just been a wee momentum shift, hasn't it? Like we started off, it was all Kaikorai in those first 2 or 3 minutes, but since then, Harbour have come back into the game impressively. It was a good exit, as OB said, good kick from Hasty, and if they were to clock in, they'll just have their tails up. So, a good comeback from Harbour. See how the young 10 can go.
Hopefully, you'll be able to get round behind the post, Lee, and see if we can pick this kick up. But we can probably see it reasonably well from here. And this boy, I think he's the top point scorer in the competition. He's got the distance. And he's nailed it.
Okay.
From 44 metres, Rike Milne. And they're up 10 points to 7.
And just a wee reminder there, particularly to Slade McDowell, probably not to infringe inside your own half, because there's a guy who can land from 40-45.
In fact, I think it's very close for the top point scorer of the year. I think these two, Miller and Milne, are very, very tight. So whoever gets probably the most points in this game will actually end up being the top point scorer in the club competition. It's a nice kick. Breen decides no, he won't go for the quick throw-in. But this will be a line out to Kaikorai with Henry Bell, another Highlander player, to throw to this line out. Just inside the Harbour half. Who are they looking for here?
Went to Casey, the first one.
Going to go, well done. Bang back into the hands. Miller's got it. They go wide into the midfield. And they go wide again. Breen's got it. Nice tackle. That could have been, that was the wee winger, I think. That could have been Wiremu Braley that made that tackle. Ball comes back again. Again, Kaikorai go just over the halfway. Looking for runners, but they're going to go wide. Miller's got it. Miller faked to kick, then kicked. And that's a nice, just about a great kick. And he was out. I felt that was well and truly out. But the ball comes back again. On the Harbour side, it's Tane Hand now, takes it towards the 22. Looking for that is Rhoda Latifa. He gets it wide. They go up towards the 22. And I'll tell you what, they've really competing at ruck time, though. That's another turnover at Harbour. They've got numbers there, and they got that ball back. They did really well there. And ball comes back slowly to Nathan Hasty. He's looking for a runner, finds Francisconi, goes to ground just outside the 22. Back with Hasty, and then he puts the kick down deep into Kaikorai territory with Miller scurrying back to get it just outside his 22. He finds Breen in the midfield. What's Breen going to do? He does a lot of running, Breen, and Breen just sets off. Takes it up to the 10-metre line. Still going. Breen goes to ground. Ball comes back. Tane Hand, underrated halfback, looking for it. They've got it. They got wide. They go wide again. And it's out to the ever-present McDowell. Takes it up. And then he tried to throw an adventurous offload. I felt that could have been forward, but referee says no, play on. Referee says it's a knock-on.
Well, it's a great time if you're Rike Milne when you've got a halfback like Nathan Hasty who got all of that. 50 metres downfield they went, and that'll be a key tactic for Harbour, I'm sure.
Boys have been tricking me. They've actually got the wrong numbers on those wingers. It's well, I may have been crediting Wiremu Braley with that, but I think it might have been the old fella, the old stager himself, Wasaki Naholo. So anyway, Kaikorai to feed the scrum, and it's Tane Hand to feed the scrum, just inside the Harbour, half. The crowd hasn't built that much up, Greg. I'm a wee bit disappointed with those numbers. They're still coming in. Of course, I can actually see some of the boxes are open, so they could be up there boozing, of course. Ball comes back to Miller. He's looking for a hole. He's found it. Still going. Great run. Again, Harbour try and get over the top of that. Referee says to Harbour no, they haven't. Tane Hand's got it. McDowell's got it now. Bumps a couple off. Goes to ground. Again, Harbour over the top of that. That's great. That's a great counter ruck from Harbour. Again, they've turned over the ball. Kaikorai just not getting enough numbers there.
Yeah, I think Harbour are sensing they do have an opportunity to force those turnovers with Kaikorai committing so few to the breakdown. They're sensing there's a real chance there to regain the ball.
So 15 minutes gone first half. You'd have to say, Greg, that this, Harbour's has certainly looked the better side for the most of this first half.
Well, Kaikorai playing a lot more rugby, of course, and moving the ball from left to right, as expected. But Harbour putting pressure on, good defence. They've tightened up since that early lapse in the first minute or so. So turning into an even tussle.
It's a Tane Hand to feed the scrum. No obvious advantage to either side at scrum time. Moana Takataka has been an interesting player for. I see he's now made the Otago team, Greg. So he was a Highlander Colt a couple of years ago from memory.
Yes, he played 2 years in the Highlanders 20s, and he's a performer, and he's only getting better at learning his craft. He's still a young man, but he's certainly been a rock for Kaikorai this year.
I'll bring Lee Piper in here. I see there could be an ex-Shark playing here today. Lockie Stevens is...
Yeah, he was a member of that Marco's winning side last year, and I see Ben Fakatava for Harbour as well. Prop, he was an ex-Shark marker as well.
Big Willie Tafui makes the break with the resplendent white headgear. Again, they charge it forward. Fido this time goes to ground. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. Ben Miller's got it. Goes wide. He finds the hooker and Henry Bell. Ball goes to ground. Tane Hand in there looking for it. Again, they go wide. Have they got the numbers this time? And this time it's Jake Fowler making the break. Referee says no. There's a penalty. A deliberate knockdown. Has he got a card? He's going to card him.
Yeah, just in front of me down here, Paul. Yeah, look, that was a 3-on-2. I think to be fair to Caleb Nelson, he had no option but fire out the yellow, much to the joy of the Kaikorai supporters there. So that's someone's going to sit it down for 10. In fact, it is who was going up there? Is that Milne? So that's going to hurt even more for them.
Rico Milne, the first 5 in the bin. So here we go. So this is Kaikorai back on attack inside the 22. With their, they took that penalty very quickly, and it's Henry Bell to throw to this line out. This is when they need to make hay while the sun shines. Again, well done in the middle of that pack. That was Sydney Fidel again, and they drive towards the line. Kaikorai. This is a nice wee drive. They're going at the line. They've fractured them, and they've scored. And I think it's Henry Bell's got across there to score that try. They are back in the game. 12-10, kick to come.
Well, a bit of a replica of the Harbour try. The Kaikorai Type 5 working overtime there and really splitting the the Harbour defence, breaking away and scoring comfortably in the left hand.
Yeah, just in front of me down here, Greg, they did it well, and they just splintered Harbour, and really it was a pretty easy try, and he just flopped over just to the left of where I'm standing down here, lads, and it was a pretty easy try. Good to see good to see Kite just varying what they're doing a little bit. I thought they got a little bit dimensional and going from side to side to side, and I think Harbour were picking them up pretty easy, but just showed that that line-out's working well. Henry Bell doing a good job. Now they need to take advantage of the one-man overlap, particularly when your 10's gone.
Righto, so it's Ben Miller to extend that lead to 14-10 if you can. As you can see, he's 5 metres in from touch right on the 22. Comes in, and he's no problem at all to Ben Miller. He's got his kicking boots on today. 14-10 to Kaikorai, and we have got 17, nearly 18 minutes gone in the first half.
What a tricky period here for Harbour. You lose your game driver in Milne, and it's hard to replace, so we'll see how they manage the next 8 or 9 minutes.
Could be a long, long period for them. So I think Nathan Hasty will probably get us underway now that Rico Milne is in the bin for that indiscretion. So what's he going to do here, Hasty? Will he go deep? Looks like he possibly could be going deep. He goes deep towards the 22. Waiting back there is Miller. And he gets a kick away. Quite a tidy kick just inside his own 10-metre line. Harbour to throw to this line through Gabriel Francesconi.
You imagine Harbour would want to slow the game down a bit here, so I imagine they want to take the line in here and just drive it, hide the ball for a few minutes.
Just try and wind that clock down. Oh, but Kaikorai have stolen that at the front. And this is a nice wee run. This is a nice wee run from Rico Fisher. Takes it up over halfway. Again, they're in there to contest Harbour. Back to Miller. He spotted a hole at the back, put it deep into the 22, but it's out on the full.
Clever work from Kaikorai there. They ran in that seam exactly where Milne would have been standing, and it was a back on a forward there, and they made hay.
So Francesconi to throw to this line out right down in front of us. He fills out a shirt, Darius Fido. The front of that line out. Oh, and that was a wonky throw, but somehow they got it back, but it's been speculated ahead. And referee says we'll have a line out to Harbour.
Harbour would be a little bit concerned about their set piece at the moment, particularly line out. That's 2 in a row they've gone astray.
Here we go. So where do they go? They go to the back, but again it's been tipped back by Lucas Casey. Ball comes back. They go wide to the midfield. Slade McDowell again. He's full of running out there, and he charges at the defence. Ball comes out on the side. He could have been offside, but the ball comes back on the Harbour side. They storm up over the halfway. Ball comes back to Hasty. looking for a run. Has found Akani. He's got his man over out wide. Just couldn't find him. Couldn't find him. They had numbers. Waisaki Naholo, they just needed to put it into his hands.
Yeah, tried a quick throw in here, Paul, and didn't go. I don't know what he's called there. I don't know if he said the line-out wasn't formed or what happened, but Caleb Nielsen, I thought, missed. Ben Fakatava came back. He never retired and just picked it up and went, and he's just called that open play. So fair enough. A bit of a break for Harbour.
Righto, so it's an indirect penalty, of course, so they go to the air.
The old-fashioned Gary Owen.
And they're all in there looking for it. There's a wee knock on there from Harbour, but they tend to take it forward and they get numbers over the ball. Kaikorai back in the hands of Breen, who's going to run it because he doesn't kick very often, to be fair, Breen, and he's just thrown away that pass. They got numbers out wide. He's got the ball and he's looking good. He goes down towards the line. That's Wiremu Brayley, but it's been picked up by no referee says we'll come back for the penalty. Bell got over the top of that and ripped it clear, but he's come back for the penalty.
Well, the Kaikorai forwards won't be thanking Breen for that. He's run from deep in his own 22 and he's turned it over, and now a scoring opportunity with it down to 14 men for Harbour. Oh, no.
And we've got a yellow card for a tip tackle. And who's gone off? Looks like we've sent off. We have,
Fowler.
in fact, sent off Rico Fisher.
Fisher, is it? Was it Fowler?
Oh, no, it's Fowler, sorry. That's Fowler. It's the 13.
Yeah, so that's going to even things up here. And Kaikorai, who were looking like they were taking advantage, PD, as you said, they were going through the centres where young Milne was. Well, that's now counted out. So really good opportunity again for Harbour to hit back.
Caleb's never been afraid of a yellow card, Gregory. He's happy to fire them, and probably fair enough. The tip tackle and the first one certainly deserved it. So this is a 5 metre line out to Harbour. Can they get this ball? They've lost the last couple of line outs, and they can. They've got it. That was a really good take at that time from Boston Hunt. They get the drive on. They're only a metre or so away. Can they get over here? They're really trying to get into this, but again, they're starting to shuffle through the middle, but they're driving. Referee says penalty.
Says try.
That's a try.
Try.
Yeah.
It looked like he was giving a penalty, but no, they'll take the try, and it could looks like it's Jeff Akani, the number 8, that's come up with the ball. And you can't say it's not a low-scoring game, Gregory.
No, well, Harbour is certainly showing that they certainly have one method of scoring tries, and that's from 5 metres out, so they're fairly lethal from there. So, yes, it's rock and roll at the moment.
15-14, kick to come.
Yeah, that's where the discipline's really letting Kaikorai down, because they know what's coming, don't they? They've really got the edge. They've got dangerous runners with the likes of Breen and Fowler, and Miller's been making some space as well. So, a poor error from Breen. He should have just smacked that down the other end, turned it over, and now they've conceded points from there. But yeah, I'll give you credit there, Paul. I thought he was handing out a penalty as well when he awarded it, because he's sort of quite used to it, so it was sort of strange to see him wanted to try.
With Milne off the field, it's Nathan Hasty, and he's absolutely nailed it right down the middle. Hasty, nice conversion. 17-14 now to Harbour over Kaikorai with that conversion to Hasty.
But we are seeing those two distinct styles of game being played, with certainly Kaikorai looking to use the ball and Harbour looking to use their forward power.
Ben Miller puts it down to the 22. Hasty's waiting back for it, and then he just loses the ball on the tackle. And then and it's been picked up by the wee number 14, Lafita. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side, but it's slow. Referee says come back for the knock on.
Well, Hasty thought he had cover there. He thought he had cover to kick that ball. He didn't. In the end, he got caught in possession.
And just coughed it up in the tackle. So the scrum's going to form on the 22, 5 metres in from touch. And be interesting to see how the scrum goes, because both packs still at the numbers. It's the backs that they've lost players. And it is Tane Hand to feed the scrum.
Well, Kaikorai set up very wide, and all the Harbour defence is inside the near post. So
Wee bit untidy coming off the back, picked up by Casey. Takes it up over the 22. Nice wee run. And it's been picked up again, this time by Sydney Fidau, who's been prominent of the game so far. Nice drive from the Kaikorai forwards. Again, they pick and go. And this again, that's the third one in a row. McDowell that time. Coming up, they're still going. They're only 5 metres out, and again they're going. They feel they can penetrate here. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side, but it's a bit slow. Again, they go again. Casey this time. He's been well wrapped up. They try to get, Francisconi tries to get over the top of that. And again, they go up the line. They're only a metre away here. They're going to go, and if they scored, they have. Not sure who that is.
Well, the Harbour defence just looking a little bit lethargic there, Lee.
And it looks like it's the number 6.
Yeah, it was just pick and go, wasn't it? And then they just split. It was way too easy for them, and they just whistled around the other way. And in the end, they got close and went over. Caleb Nielsen came round, try. So I tell you what's going to come in to play here, OB, is going to be fitness, because he's just going from end to end, and really it's the mistakes. Just silly mistakes too, that run from Charlie Breen where he should have kicked it, and then Nathan Hastie just getting caught from the kickoff there just allows Kaikorai to hit straight back.
So 19-17 was Rawiri Martin, the blindside flanker that got over that time. They picked and go, they went 5 or 6 times and they just split them. And Miller is taking this shot at goal right down in front of us. This should be meat and drink to him. Should go to 21-17. And as I said that, I put the absolute kiss of death on him and he missed it.
No meat, no drink there.
Yeah, 19-17, 26 minutes gone first half. Kaikorai up. But I tell you what, Gregory, it's been an all-action game. We can't say we're not getting action.
Well, yeah, it's been a seesaw affair. I think both coaches will be a bit perturbed about their defence at the moment. The attack good, but defence might be a worry.
So
Milne back on here, lads. Milne back on.
Milne back on. Yes, good to see. So Milne's back, and we've still got our old mate Rico Fisher in the bin as he kicks down towards the 22. Ben Miller again puts the kick down, puts the big spiral punt down over the top of Akani, who's racing back to get it. Now
he's coming off the fence.
Here he comes. He just and he just took him out.
Hello, Slade McDowell.
Slade McDowell just went back at a rate of knots there. Pretty they get the ball just outside their own 10-metre line. Now they can start to get the forwards going. Rico Milne gets it wide. They go into the midfield to Lome Morris. He gets straight down by the number 19 hand. We've got a man down over the back there. Ball comes from the Harbour side. Ball comes back. Again, it's the big bellas now, the big popos. They charge forward up towards the 10-metre line from Harbour. Again, they have another go. This time it was Ikahifo. No, in fact, it was Boston Hunt. Ball comes back on the Harbour side. Gets it wide. Gets it out to the winger. Puts a nice wee step on, then goes to ground. Wiramu Brayley. Oh, that's a big head-high tackle. He hasn't seen that. I can't believe that.
Seen it.
If somebody's seen it, touch has seen it. Just about ripped his head off. Ball comes back on the Harbour side, but it's pretty slow. Referee says, it's a head-high tackle.
Yeah, that one didn't slip up. That was he got all of that.
He was travelling pretty low, but it looked brutal from here. And it's Wiramu Brayley, not Wiramu Brayley.
Yeah, no, it's Milne going to the corner again. Lads, pretty buoyant crowd. Actually, the crowd's picked up as I spin around and have a look behind me, particularly down towards that... sort of to my right as I look at it down towards that Forsyth Barr sign. But again, this is where Harbour, haven't they? They've had the wood on in this particular area. Both teams actually have been good from line-out drive. Look to them to go to their strength here again and look at their big popos, as you call them, Paul, to do some damage.
Righto, so it's Francisconi to throw. They just go, again, they've made an absolute mess of that. There was a wee knock on there. They've missed that. Ball comes back on the Harbour side, however. No, referee, the touch judge, the ever-efficient touch judge got that. There was a wee knock on there.
Well, that's a let-off for Kaikorai because they've scored twice from that position already, so
that might be
lucky to escape.
That might be Erin Doherty on this touch, is it? Looks like to me like it could be Erin. It is. So good touch. She's come in twice now to good effect.
Yeah, they're really Kaikorai fancying themselves at the line, aren't they, lads? They're quite happy to put them up. Maybe 5 metres out, they're not, but anything outside of there, they're really challenging Harbour and making life challenging for them. Righto,
here we go. So it's Tane Hand. 15 metres out from his own line. Can we get a bit of weight on from this big and that's a really good scrum, really great scrum. And they've got the tight head. Akani got it to Hastie. He got it up to Boston. He got it up to Boston Hunt. Boston Hunt at the line. What does he say? He's not saying anything. Held up. He's going to go and check, though. He's going to go across to Erin Doherty and check. She says it's been held up. Nice, yeah, good, and that was a great scrum from them. So it's a drop out.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I they're all roaring here in front for the Harbour boys, but it looked, I just thought Caleb got himself in the wrong spot there, although, to be fair, Aaron Doherty was probably in a good spot, but again, that dominance from Harbour, they've got to start turning that into points because that looked ominous.
That's a bit of a worry for them. That was a really big Harbour scrum as they kick it down towards halfway. Waiting back there is Morris, who brings it up to halfway now, and he's going to put the kick. No, he's not much of a kicker, Morris Lome. Ball comes back on the Harbour side. And again, we go around just in the half, just in Kaikarai's half. Back again, looking for some ball runners. Then they go wide to the back line. There's a bit of a hole there to go through, and it's the number 15, Luca Fuller. He goes to ground right on the 10-metre line. They've just ripped it. They had ripped it clean. Might have been a wee knock on there. Back to the old man himself, Waisaki Naholo. We kick over the top from Rike Milne. Missed, and the ball goes into touch. This will be a Harbour. I would imagine this will be a Harbour line out.
Yeah, just an untidy period of play there, and 31 minutes gone. Maybe a little bit of fatigue setting in, and you're playing under the roof in this magnificent stadium. This fatigue is always a factor.
It's come back. In fact, they've come back for the knock-on.
Yeah, that was messy, wasn't it? Breen came across. He couldn't gather it. I think he should have just put it into touch. He tried for the $1 million pickup. Missed it. But, yeah, Kaikorai just showing a bit of fatigue as well here. Just making a few errors. A little bit of momentum shift. But, look, I don't think there's going to be much in this game, lads. It's, it's toing and froing. 19-17.
32 minutes gone first half. And if Kaikorai got their man back, he's just about to come back on by the look of it. He's up standing. Ball comes back on the Harbour side from that scrum. Good controlled scrum from them. Waisaki Naholo gets it wide. They try an intricate little double round there to Fuller. Fuller through the hole. Nice tackle there. Ball comes back on the Harbour side very quickly though. And that's a good run from Tony Taufa. He charges up towards the 22. Ball comes back on the Harbour side again. Referee says holding on the tackle. And then just gets a wee shove in the back from Slade McDowell from his troubles. But good defence that time from Kaikorai.
Yeah, some real power there in the Harbour forwards. And they're really making a lot of headway when they get in the right parts of the ground.
That's a tidy kick. That's a tidy kick from Ben Miller. Puts it out on the Harbour 10-metre line.
But Lee Piper, I imagine the Harbour faithful and the Kaikorai faithful will all be sitting on the edge of the seats.
Yeah, well, I'm just in front of the Kaikorai faithful. I'm just wandering down to you can see, well, if you're on the TV, you can see to this side of the ground. There's a fair throng of Harbour supporters. But as I say, it's sort of enough to cheer about and enough to worry about for both of them.
And Henry Bell to the throat of this line out right on the 10-metre line. They go to the back and they drag it down again. Back to, that was a slightly forward pass to McDowell, wasn't picked up. Harbour try and get over the top of that. It came around the side, then they were into it again. That was Lucky Stevens taking it forward. And again, Casey picks it up and goes. Doesn't make a huge amount of ground though. Referee says penalty. And didn't release in the tackle. I would imagine Ben Miller O'B will be going for a shot at goal here.
Well, just the way the game's gone the last 5 minutes, they may want just a bit of relief, a 3-point buffer there to get them to 22-17, but he is going for the posts.
He's gone for the posts. So we are 33, nearly 34 minutes gone. Remember 19-17, Kaikorai up over Harbour with Ben Miller to take this shot at goal. Casey just having a chat with the referee, questioning a couple of rulings. But OB, there's not much in this game. It's a pretty, as we suspected, it's a pretty even old affair.
Yeah, it would be hard to say any teams earn the right to lead at half time. Both teams would be concerned about their defence. I think Kaikorai inside their own 22, defending the set piece of Harbour, and Harbour through the middle close to their line, just a little bit soft.
So Ben Miller, and I don't want to say because I killed him last time, but he has no trouble that time. 22-17 with that penalty to Ben Miller.
A little interesting passage of play. 5 minutes to go to half time. Don't think Harbour in a close game, it looks like it's going to be a close game, will want to concede any more points before half time, Lee.
Lee, and by the way, are they back to 15?
Yeah, they are, Paul. Both teams back to 15. Yeah, you're right. Actually, it was a good summation there by UOB. But yeah, if Kaikorai were to grab another 7, spread it out to 29-17 before the break, then that might make Harbour have to play catch up, and you can just see a few hands on hips from down here from some of those big Harbour forwards. Interesting here, we've got a scrum to see if Harbour can do the biz, because it's Kaikai's put him.
Yeah, a knock on there, untidy. They went for the ball in the air but knocked it forward 3 or 4 metres, so this scrum's going to form right down in front of us. And but that was the last time we saw it. That was that power scrum from Harbour. And let's be honest, they are a big pack. When you got Taylor Dale there's the blindside flanker, you can tell it's a big pack. Harbour to feed, Tane hand, and that's again, he gets the ruck on, but the referee says penalty. Yeah, just too big, too strong, Gregory. That's just too big and too strong right now.
Yeah, well, halfback hand, he was looking for quick ball, he just couldn't get it. The shove went on from Harbour, and they moved him a couple of metres there, and eventually they went down, and the referee quite rightly said penalty to Harbour. They're not going for the post though.
Yeah, this is interesting, is it, down here, because he's a good goal kicker, Bill. I would have said they probably wanted to keep in touch. This is a big play, and he's just knocked it out. So it's not quite enough for them to attack, but it'll be interesting to see whether Kaikorai chuck up the likes of Stevens, who's done a good job snapping their ball, or whether they wait and try to defend. I think they'll go up. So
here we go. So can they get their rolling ball underway? But as Lee has just said, they've Kaikorai have attacked quite a few of these lineouts. Where are they going to go? Make sure they get hands on ball. And again, they've overthrown it, and there was a knock on. Overthrown that, just missed everybody. Knock on. Referee Caleb Nielsen said scrum Kaikorai.
Yeah, they'll probably quite like a scrum though.
So here we go. Can they force another one?
These are really costly mistakes 3 or 4 minutes before half time. They've had 2 chances down in the same corner, and just the execution of the line not good enough. And when you consider Kaikorai still have Tucker in the wings waiting to come on, it's a real problem for them going to half time.
He's a very, very tall man, Will Tucker. Okay, so Kaikorai to feed their scrum. Can their scrum hold up, or can Harbour put some heat on again? It's a fit. They've just straight down that time. That's a smart move. They didn't get picked for it. Lucas Casey breaks over the 22. They finally drag him down. Just roll a couple of their boys out of the way, and then Miller immediately goes to the air. There's big gaps at the back as they go racing back. Luca Fuller goes back to pick that up, and he's picked it up, and he's had to run. He's stepped a couple, and then he's gone to ground, and McDowell is all over that like a rash. But referee says he went to ground over the ball, penalty, and possibly fair enough.
Fortunate there for Kaikorai, because there was a lot of the Harbour forwards a little way down the field, and Kaikorai had numbers there.
Yeah, they're just, as I said before, OB, some of them are walking, they're just in front of me down here, but they are walking very slowly back, Harbour. But to your point, they're just not making the most of these opportunities. And I think if Kite just keep attacking them at line-out time, then trying to move them round, and as you said, not out.
He hasn't found touch. In the hands of Miller. He puts it deep. And Jeff Akani waiting back for that. He's picked it up. He only knows one way, and that's forward. Ball comes back on their side. Hasty in there looking for it. He puts the wee kick over the top, and it lands. It goes to ground, but it's been well picked up. That's a terrible pass back to Miller. Pillar's deciding what to do with it. He gets it to Breen. Breen only knows one way. They get it wide to 12. Puni Hihi, for the first time we've mentioned his name, and then they've dropped it, and back to Jake Fowler. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. Oh, he was a mile offside in the middle of that back, and well dragged forward by Lafita. And again, they try and they bust through the middle. And again, it's Sydney Fidau. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side, looking for a runner, found it, lost the ball, and then he kept going. Referee says we'll come back. Come back for the penalty to Kaikorai on the 10-metre line.
Yeah, getting a little untidy, and with only 1 minute to Oranges, I think both teams are looking for the break.
22-17, less than a minute to go to half time, and it's balls with Ben Miller, and he'll be looking for touch.
Yeah, vital part of the game though, this, isn't it, lads? A couple of minutes to go. Kaikorai have got a line out. Their line out's been pretty good with Henry Bell throwing in. If they could grab a 5 or even a 3 going in, that'll be a big psychological blow.
And it'll be Henry Bell, the man we just talked about, to throw to this line out. Line out throwing's been pretty good today, whereas they are not firing on all cylinders in that Harbour line out. And they're going to go back, and they've gone over the top, and it's been picked up and knocked on by Casey. Ball comes back on the Harbour side. They're all over that, and they go to ground, rolling. Again, Kaikorai try to get over the top, but it's coming back. Well done. And then Hasty puts a kick deep into the 22. That's a great kick from Casey. That's a definitely a 50-22, and that'll be a line out. Oh, it went further back than that, I would have thought. But anyway, this will be a Harbour throw to the line out. That was very good work, Greg, from Hasty.
Well, it's part of a good halfback's armoury these days is a long kick, and he's got one of the longest in the game.
Yeah, well, we're talking about the blow from Kaikorai. It's actually now going to be a blow from Kaikorai. I think they've been a bit shortchanged here by Aaron.
Yeah, I felt
they probably went about
they were
4 or 5 metres up from here.
Righto, let's go. Can they win a line out? And they do. They win one at the front. They've got it to the back. They've got it at the back of that maul now. They need to roll it perhaps a wee bit infield. They're pretty close to that touchline. Hasty's going to have to go in and grab it. He's got it now, Hasty. What's he doing with it? He's got it. He's going to go into the back line, and they smack it up in the midfield through Willie Tafui, the big body of Willie Tafui. Again, they charge. Tony Telfer drags it up close, right under the shadow of the post now. Now they're going to get the roll on. They drag it forward again. Ball comes back a bit slowly. What's the referee say? Penalty.
Yeah, holding on.
Yeah, okay.
Another let-off for Kaikorai.
Yeah, very much a let-off for Kaikorai there, but referee Nielsen was right there and he felt they didn't let that go, and they will probably wind the clock down here. It's 40 minutes up, 22-17. Remember, the coverage today brought to you by Garage. If you're looking for a garage door, get across to Kaikorai and see my old mate Gerald. And we go to half time. We might just so boys, we'll go to a break. But what are we thinking about that first half? Firstly, from you, Greg, it's been a pretty tense old encounter. I feel Harbour a wee bit stiff to be down 22-17.
I think on balance, maybe Kaikorai, they've taken their opportunities better when they've been down there. Harbour have had more opportunities, but they've blown a few, and they may well regret that. But look, I think both teams, both coaches are out there talking about defence, getting a bit more field position, and certainly for Harbour, converting those opportunities they're getting inside the 22.
And a bit of a wrap from you down on the sideline, Lee.
Yeah, I agree with OB. I think one of the problems that Harbour's got is their strength, which we've seen is their set piece, so their scrum and their line out, but they're really struggling at line out time, so that's kind of nullifying where they're going. They probably should have taken the 3 or had a go at taking the 3 to keep them in touch. I just kind of get the feeling that if Kaikorai were the first ones to score in the second half, they might just kind of kick on from there. We saw a few hands on hips from some of the bigger Harbour players, so depending on what they've got coming in off the bench, they could bring on Will Tucker to try and help them with the scrum, Kaikorai. But overall, I think they'll be pretty happy going in, as OB said, to Oranges up by 5 at half time. There's really been nothing in it, but I think the error rate's pretty high. Okay, so look, there it is, half time here. It's 22-17. Interestingly, Kaikorai have decided to shun the changing rooms, and they're going to stay out on the paddock, which is to be applauded. Old school. We will be back with you again very shortly.
Righto, so we're back. We're back at the stadium for the second half, 22-17, with Kaikorai up over Harbour, and the second half just about to get underway. Remember, today's coverage brought to you by Garrador. Filming today done by Elevate Analysis. But remember, this is obviously live on the ODT website. And it'll be the young first five, Rike Milne, to get us underway. 22-17, no, it's not. So, but the only issue really, boys, is Harbour have got to sort their line out, and Kaikorai have got to sort their scrum out.
Yeah, well, we've got two teams out here, Paul. We've got no referee. So
the referees haven't come out.
Yeah, they've had.
There'd be a reason.
Yeah, they've had a couple of extra oranges, and Caleb was just checking that he had his whistle in full flight. Put another P in there just in case he overextended himself in the second half. But, yeah, no, it's a pretty even game. But as I said, I think if Kaikorai can score from down here, their supporters are pretty buoyant. Talked to a couple of them in the stand. So if they could score, then I think they might kick on. But Harbour, they're wanting to get back in and see if they can as well. So
Rike Milne gets us underway. And it's picked up by the number 6, Raweri Martin, just outside of zone 22. Comes back on the Harbour side. Tainhan's got it. He's found Miller. Miller puts that educated boot of his. Big Jeff Akani, he's been waiting back there a lot today, and he just runs straight over the top of Rota Lafita. Ball comes back on their side, and it's Big Fidao. Slams it up over halfway. Ball comes back on the Harbour side. Looking to go wide this time. Looking for runners. Luca Fuller through the hole. And then McDowell is all over that. He is all over that, and he's stolen it. That's what he does. That's what McDowell does. Then there's a wee knock on there, and picked up by Harbour. Harbour charge it up towards the 22. Ball comes back on the Harbour side, but it's very slow coming out, and it's Boston Hunt in there looking for that. Comes back on the Harbour side again. Looking for runners out wide. It's Jeff Akani, the number 8. He throws the back pass, goes to nobody. Referee says there might have been a Kaikorai hand in that. And again, they're back on their halfway. This is very untidy play from Harbour. But he's going to come back for the knock-on from Kaikorai.
Well, why suck in a hollow prominent in that move? He might have 14 on his back, but he seems to be playing in the middle of the park, trying to get his hands on the ball and make something happen for Harbour, because that's what they need in the next 3 or 4 minutes. They need to make something happen.
Well, he's one of the coaches, of course, for Harbour, as we know. I mean, he's a coach, and you've got super coach McIntyre, and I think even Corey Brown might have been out there helping them out over the last few weeks, Gregory.
Yeah, well, who have they brought on? I'm just having a look at the numbers down there. 22 looks to have come on. Oh, that's not Monty. No, he's a tall, thin guy. God, they've got coming on 22 at Harbour.
Well, it's listed as Monet Samati Palu.
Nah, it's not him. But that's where they're going to go.
And looking for runners, but again they go, well, that was a decoy runner. They smack it up towards right in the middle of the field. It was Lome Morris took it up, and then Nathan Hasty finds a hole, finds Akani. Akani's still going Akani. Ball comes back on the Harbour side. Again, they're looking for runners, and again, it's the big lock. It's Boston Hunt finding a hole there. They charge towards the line. They're only a couple of metres away, but have they been held up? They crash over the line. Hasty. Referee says held up.
Hasty was off his feet there. He's going across the line. They did a good job, McDowell in particular, keeping him off in the air, but he's instrumental there in a couple of breaks. Hasty, he's starting to have an influence on the game.
One of the most stupid rules that they've ever brought in rugby.
Yeah, Slade McDowell, you're right, OB. He did all the work there. He got in under Hasty, lifted him up, and then almost single-handedly dragged him back over the line. Great play from the veteran.
Ben Miller puts it deep down towards halfway. Luca Fuller back there. And again, they're running it up. It's Lome Morris. He just charges in. This is what's happening with that big midfield. Ball's coming back very slowly on the Harbour side. They've got it now, though. Looking for runners. Again, they go wide. And Luca Fuller trying to make a hole. Luca Fuller, he's straight through. Can he step? Can he go? Miller's dragged him down. He got the ball backwards. Referee said it was knocked on. Back on the Harbour side in the hands of Breen. They go into a ruck. Tainhan looking for it. Nice run from Luca Fuller. But it's back in the hands of Miller now. And he didn't find a great touch. To be fair, he's only got himself about 5 or 6 metres there, but that was a nice run from Luca Fuller.
Well, it's early, fellas, but you just feel Harbour have to start converting some of these opportunities, Lee.
Yeah, there's tuck and run though, isn't there? There's and Fuller, to your point, Paul, he did well there. He tucked it and went, but the support play, they're just one pass short, aren't they, of going under the sticks. They're one pass short of getting there. So another great opportunity. Let's see how their line-out goes. It's right in front of me, lads.
And again, they've struggled, and Kaikorai have turned that over. Referee says, was there a knock on? And then no, it's come back on the Kaikorai side. That's another mistake. It's very slow coming back. Referee says we'll have a scrum. But yeah, that's very untidy.
Yeah, just in front of me down here, Paul, and that's killing them. They've got Lockie Stevens going up the front. They've still got Tucker to come on. But if you can't win your line out 10, 15 metres out when you've got a really big forward pack, you're going to... And Kaikorai, you can just tell, looking at them, they've got their tails up when it comes to the line out.
So we've decided that Big Monet has come on for the other big man, have we? So we've lost Willie Tafui, or is that Willie Tafui back in that? I can't work it out. We'll just say that's still Willie Tafui. Anyway, but it's a Kaikorai scrum. Tane Handafine, 15 metres out from their own line. And again, the Kaikorai scrum goes down. I would imagine Harbour will be trying to put some real pressure on here. They had a couple of 2 or 3 really big scrums in that first half. And they'll be looking to exert here, really put some pressure on Kaikorai and perhaps try and get another one of those scrum penalties. So the Kaikorai look like they're going to try to go as low as possible here. Those locks are on their knees. Tane Hand to feed the scrum. Better scrum from Kaikorai. They're inching backwards, but then Casey brings it off. Gets a wee fend on. He gets rid of Tony Taufa that time, but they put a wee kick over the top. Waiting back for that is Fuller. Brings it up, or it is Luca Fuller, and he charges it up. Then he loses it. He loses it backwards. Ball comes back on the Harbour side. Looking for runners out here. Again, they're not showing it too much. Ball comes back slowly on the Harbour side. Looking to drag it up again. Tony Taufa this time. Still outside the 22. Looking for another runner. Found Francesconi. Takes it up, goes a couple of yards, goes to ground. Referee says play on. Milne goes wide. Fuller goes wider. Out to, and that's not a good pass from Wasaki Naholo. And Breen nearly got away on the outside. But that was pretty average ball control, Greg.
Yeah, continuation for me of poor execution when they're on attack. And, this is the final, and they're going to regret those occasions unless they can get across the line and put some pressure on the Kaikorai team.
I can confirm that it's definitely Willie Tafui still on.
Yeah, they're kind of hanging in though, aren't they, fellas? They're just sort of not going away, Harbour, despite the errors that they're making. And Hasty still looks dangerous. He's the key for me. If he can continue to try and get in behind Kaikorai, as I say, I still think they're only a pass away, but poor from the holo there.
Well, they are enduring territorial advantage. That's one thing. They've pinned Kaikorai inside their own half for the first 7 or 8 minutes of the second stanza.
And just report in from Central Otago, lads. Looks like Upper Clutha, with only a few minutes to go, we're up 35-7 over Wakatip.
This will be interesting, whether they go for the poles or they kick to the corner here. You imagine they go to the corner this early in the second half.
They'll go to, yes, he will, and he's going to take the kick himself. He's not going to get his wee first 5 to come in and give him a hand. No, Nathan Hastie's decided to leave it to me. And he puts it down. Didn't get a great deal. Oh, he's probably 15 metres out from the line, but it's there. But they've got to start converting this stuff. They really need, Greg. They've really got to win this line out. They just have been under all sorts of pressure.
Well, this is their preferred method of scoring, so if they can grab this one and drive.
And they've done that well. They've got that ball. Now they've got their drive going. Well, they've got their drive set up anyway to go. And they start inching forward. Kaikorai trying to hold on. Now they're sort of rumbling towards that 5 metre line. The big number 8's got the ball on the back. He takes it off now, Akani. Powerful burst from Akani. Goes to ground, gets dragged back a couple of metres. They go again. They're only a couple of metres away here. Can they get this over the line? They rumble forward. Whakatava's got it now. Again, they wait and they pick it up and they drive again. It's the number 8 again, Akani. He's only 1.5 metres away. Ball comes back slowly. Again, they have another go at the line. They go at the line. They're held up. Referee says no. Ball comes back again. Can they get over here? They really need to get over. They really need to exert some control on this game, Harbour. They're only a metre away. Can they get it done? Akani goes out wider again. Can they get the ball to him? Can he crash over? Again, it's very slow. Hasty's got it. They go wide. They go wide to Morris. Morris scores in the corner. Lome Morris goes over. 22 all, kick to come.
Smart thinking from Harbour there. They were all gathered around the post thinking they were going to chisel away and try and get over the line. It's a good thinking from Hasty. They moved the ball wide. Lome got on the outside of the winger and scored a vital try.
Yeah, that's Hasty, isn't it? We just talked about him and his influence, and he just looked up and went, that's the better option, and went there. But again, it came back to Harbour actually winning that line out, as you said, PD, and then they were able to control the possession and control the next kind of 4 or 5 phases. They went back in front of the post and then swung it out right, and that's a great start for Harbour to really keep them in the contest.
Took them 10 minutes, Greg, but they were worth it. That was a crucial score.
Well, the territorial advantage they've enjoyed since half-time is hopefully 7 points for them, but it's given them 5 and drawn them even. So they'll be looking to get back in the scoring zone quickly.
And has he dragged that round? No, it just goes away to the right from the wee first 5 in Rike Milne. And we've got a couple of changes coming on, well, one change coming on for Harbour.
Yeah, sorry fellas, down here, Will Tucker is on, and in jersey 24, Orlando Vaitupu is on also for the Leeds.
And they kick off deep, waiting back there. And we'll kick away to touch. So we've decided who those boys have come on. Who have they taken off, Lee, in the locking area?
Yeah, it looks like Lockie Stevens is off. They've kept on Sydney Fidel, so I'm not sure who Vaitupu was on for. I'll just hang on to.
The 6 is off, Rawiri Martin. And that's, let me just check, come back to that. Ball comes back on the Harbour side. Again, they're just throwing those dodgy little offloads to nobody, and it's been ripped clear by, actually, if anybody, it's been, in fact, it could be Miller that's ripped that clear. Powerful little burst from him. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. And they go into the midfield. And again, they take it forward. Casey's got it now. Ball comes back to hand. And again, they smack it forward. It's the number 1, Henry Cleaver. And again, Miller's got it. Miller look to go wide. Miller's gone through the hole. He's got a couple of men on the inside. They could score here. The Hands got it. They go back, and that's a try. Fantastic work. And I think it was Charlie Breen that went over and scored that try for Kaikorai. 27-22, kick to come right under the posts.
Yeah, well, poor security there from Harbour. They've turned that ball over in the middle of the park. And Kaikorai have shown they've got plenty of threats out wide. Breen's been one of them all day. Some lovely little interplay there between halfback and Breen. And they've gone over and negated that Harbour try straight away, and they've moved out to 27-22.
Yeah, straight away. We talked about getting in behind. They got in behind, and then they didn't panic. And that was good from the interplay there. They didn't panic. Breen was always the man over. Stepped inside in the hole. I went under the stick. So, yeah, that's just what Harbour didn't need, wasn't it? They just scored. They just needed to have a period of consolidation, but Kite comes straight back at him.
Yeah, I imagine Milne will be wanting to get a bit more territory before they start throwing the ball around, because that's where Harbour are best, when they're in that tackle quarter. Tucker's on, as you say, and he'll have one job, and that'll be negate Harbour's line out. Take that away from him.
So no problem with that kick to Miller. That takes them out to 29-22. There's 13 minutes gone in the second half, and what have Harbour got? They really need to start showing it now. But yeah, they just fell off a couple of tackles there, and he kicks it down. They to chase up and compete. And Big Tucker might have picked that up. Ball goes to ground, comes back on the Kaikorai side. Miller's got it again, puts a wee kick over the top. Somebody's underneath that. And it could be the wee winger. We've hardly mentioned him all day. Wiramu Brayley that time. Referee says knock on. We will come back for a Kaikorai scrum. Interesting, they've brought on Vaitupu. Rawiri Martin was playing pretty well, but Vaitupu's played some pretty good rugby for these boys this year.
Yeah, Lucas Govitz is also on here. I don't know about you, how you boys are going way up there. I'm close to the action, and those Harbour numbers are quite hard to see.
So Lucas Govitz is on at 19.
Well, let's see if the Tucker in the middle row can build a bit of resolve into the Kaikorai scrum here.
And he is number 19. Right. That's a good scrum from Kaikorai. Ball comes back. Miller's got it. He's going wide. And they've found, again, the powerful young fouler, the fouler, the centre. And then he goes to, he's trying to get to ground. He's got to ground now. Tainhand's looking for it. He's looking for Miller. Miller goes into the midfield. Will Tucker takes it forward now. Doesn't go too far. Ball comes back on their side. Tainhand's got it again. Finds Miller. Feller's going to find a wide pass out to Rico Fisher. He gets tackled on the 10-metre line. Ball comes back to Hand. Again looking for runners. And they found Henry Cleaver again. They've got huge numbers here out wide if they can get it out wide here. But that Tainhand goes on his own. Boys are screaming for it in the backs. Can they get it wide? They've got numbers. Very slow coming back. Miller's got it. He gets it out into the midfield. And now they're looking to have a crack. They go wide. It's McDowell. McDowell takes it towards the 22. He goes to ground. Ball comes back. They got somebody playing halfback. They have now. And it was Fowler. Breen's found a hole. Big Tucker. Goes to ground. Only 5 or 6 metres out. Back to McDowell. Can McDowell score? McDowell can score.
Well, there you go. Bang, bang. And the game is broken open in a matter of minutes. Kaikorai really spreading a tiring Harbour defence line there.
Yeah, we talked about this, didn't we, fellas, in the first half? Just if Kaikorai could keep going, would Harbour be able to stay with them? And a couple of changes. And Tucker, you called him a couple of in the play there, Paul. He made a difference. But what was noticeable was you take Big Jeff Akani out and put Lucas Govitz in. You bring Tucker in and look at the scrum difference. Kaikorai actually struggled at scrum time. It was over now. I don't know if you saw it, but it was almost a tight head just on a strike, and Kaikorai just pushed them off it and then went down the other end. And as you called it quite rightly, Paul, and they always had numbers on the left, and McDowell over in the far left-hand corner.
So Miller, he's right on the touchline. He's right in front of us. The score currently 34-22. The 16 minutes gone second half, but this could be a long second half unless Harbour can get back into this game. Miller right in front of us. Comes in. And he's actually smoked it. Absolutely smoked it. That's a great kick from the sideline. 36-22 with that conversion to Miller.
More subs.
That's Moni Samati coming on now. He'll probably be coming on to the wing, I would imagine. And the big man's gone off. So Moni Samati is on for Willie Tafui.
Well, this is an important period of play for Harbour. They cannot let Kaikorai get 3 scores ahead heading into the championship 20 minutes.
So Tainhand puts it back to Miller. Miller puts it high in the air. Back goes the wee fullback, Luca Fuller. Takes it well. Brings it up towards the halfway line. Comes back on the Harbour side. Hasty's got it. He's found a runner in Boston Hunt, who's been prominent for them today. Ball comes back again, and then he puts the wee kick over the top, but it's gone straight into the hands of Miller. And Miller I thought he would have been going big there, and then another wee kick from Hasty this time. And that's beautiful. That's just all class from Hasty. Puts it out inside the 22.
Well, class player Nathan, and he realised that he's got to have a really big 10-15 minutes here to get his game back, get his team back in the game.
They've called it a 50-22. I'm sort of questioning that a wee bit, but no, we'll take it. So Harbour to throw. Francesconi.
Just in front of me, yeah, probably a good call.
Okay. Ball comes back on the Harbour side. Tapped down by Hunt. Picked up by Whakatava. Ball comes back on the Harbour side just outside the 22, and they get the wee drive on. It's Fidao. Takes it forward. He goes to ground. Inside looking for it as halfback Hasty, and then I think McDowell may have stolen that again. No, it's coming back on the Harbour side, but slowly, very slowly. They go, unbelievably, they've gone blind. Now they come back open and they charge it up towards the 5 metre line. Ball comes back to Hasty. And he's looking for ball. He was a bit slow getting that away, and the Kaikorai defence came up on him too quickly. Couldn't get the pass away to his backs. Back to Hasty again. He's found Milne. He's put a wee kick over the top. Monet Samadi going up to see if he can grab it, but he's knocked it on. Referee goes back for the penalty.
They'll go to the corner here for sure.
Yeah, this is vital, isn't it, fellas? Down by 2 converted tries inside, or just about to your point, OB, the championship 20 minutes. They've got to score here, so they're only 1 score down.
It's all over in the upper, for those who want to know, the upper Clutha versus Wakatip game, 35-7. No chance for Wakatip today. It's a great season for upper Clutha. They've won the White Horse Cup, and now they've won the banner for the season for the 2nd year in a row. But they go to the line out here. Harbour go to the line out, and they really need to score. There's nearly 20 minutes gone now in the second half. They're down by 12. In fact, they're down by 14.
No, Tucker takes it.
And Tucker got up and took it, just ripped it clear. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. Is that the death knell for Harbour? Slowly coming back to hand. He's right on his own goal line here, but I imagine he will try and clear himself. No, he's gone back. And Fisher, for his trouble, gets absolutely smashed. Here we go. So Luca Fuller's got it now. He's been impressive for them on the burst. He goes to ground, Fuller. Again, Hasty looking for it, and he's trying to find players, but he just got caught behind the advantage line. Number 12 was through there in a flash, Punahini. Again, they charge it up towards the line. Still coming back on the Harbour side. Still looking for it as Hasty. He's got it now, but it's very slow. What are they going to do here? They go wide, but no real penetration. They're 2 or 3 metres inside the 22. Now they've found Tony Taufa. He takes it forward a yard. Harbour in there looking for it. Again, they go wide. What have they got? Have they got numbers out wide? Average pass, but he's been picked up, and he's got a man outside him. Monet Samadi didn't get it to him, Fuller. And they go to ground just on the 22. What have Harbour got? Hasty in there looking for it. Rike Milne goes wide to the midfield. They go wide from Morris. There's a nice wee step. There's a high tackle there. Referee says play on. Ball comes back on the Harbour side. I think, in fact, if Kaikorai turned that over, no, Harbour have got it again. And they've tried the wee burst through the middle. Frank Asconi went through the middle. And they're looking for runners. And again, they go wide. They've got it out. Big number 14, straight through. And again, they just can't get that last pass away. And then there was a wee knock on. Referee said knock on.
Well, what's clear is Harbour have changed their tactics. Their bench have come on, and they're definitely moving the ball wider. Some of their bigger players have taking a rest on the sideline there, and they're certainly being more ambitious with the ball in hand.
Yeah, that line out in front of us, which we talked about, you caught it there, OB, Tucker going up. Why would you throw it there? Like, he's a man mountain compared when you have a look at it from sideline. He's way taller than anybody else down here, and he just went up and grabbed that, and that was easy footer. You should have either gone over the back or kind of tried to go to the front. But anyway, another interesting scrum, 6-7 metres out.
Remember, 36-22. 18 minutes to go in the second half. What have Harbour got? Can they get a big scrum on here? But as we know, the Kaikorai scrum seems to have stiffened up. Referee says penalty. They collapsed.
So what do they do here? Now, the last line, it didn't work for them. Do they tap and go?
I'd either be taking a scrum or I'd be taking a tap. What are they going to do? They're going to take the tap.
Tap and go.
They're going to tap
Good
and
call.
go. So Frank Cisconi's going to tap. He's tapped. And again, Tony Taufa, ball of energy, storms forward towards the 5 metre line, right in front of the post. They pick it up and have another go, just brush off a couple of attackers. They dive over the top of that. Ball comes back slowly on their side. Have they got enough runners? Can they get across? Again, they smack it up. They're only a metre away now. Can they get over the line? They can sniff it. They can smell it. But can they score? Still short. Still half a metre short. Ball slowly coming back. They set it, reset. They've gone in looking for it. They've got it. They're smacking at the line. Try!
Yeah. Great captaincy there.
And Tony Taufa. Tony Taufa's been their best player in the second half, lads, and he's got them over the line. That's a really nice try.
Yeah, great captaincy there. Look, the line-out has been their preferred method of scoring, but they tapped and went there towards the post, and they've got the reward. So they give themselves a hope moving to the last quarter.
Yeah, they did that well, actually. And not only that, but they're also finding, I don't know what you're seeing up there, OB, but they're just finding some space in that pick and go through the middle because Kaik aren't committing too many to the rucks. And that's getting them behind the gain line, which is really creating problems for Kaik. Not only that, he scored close to the post and nails the conversion. So, yeah, only 7 points out. So, we're in for a rip-roaring last kind of 16-minute, fellas.
So 36-29, 7-point gap. Do we feel they're back in the game, Greg?
I think so. I think they've tweaked their tactics, their attack tactics. They're moving the ball, and that's just stretching the Kaikorai defence a little bit more, asking a few more questions.
So 36-29, there's probably 16 to go. 16 to go. Remember the last time Harbour won a banner? They shared a banner with Varsity. I think it was 2018. And Kaikorai, I think, beat the Dunedin Sharks in 2017 to win a banner. And we've put that deep. Hastie's put up. It's down to Breen on halfway. What's Breen going to do? He only knows one way, and he likes to run the ball. He hasn't kicked the ball all day today. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side, looking for some ball runners. And they've found it in the form of, I'm not sure who that is, but the ball's come back on the Harbour side. They may have got over and stolen that, Harbour. No, it's still Kaikorai have still got it. Hands got it. Looking for runners. Found Miller. He goes wide. Hits the hole. Average pass. Picked up by Harbour. But then gets bustled into touch.
Yeah, we talked about this, didn't we? That Harbour have got to kind of just stay in the fight here for the next 4 or 5 minutes because they conceded after they scored last time and then they looked in trouble there, but a really poor pass from Kaikorai kind of let them a wee bit off the hook.
I think they've got to look to Nathan Hastie to get them into the right area of the park.
They go to the back of the line out and just took it standing still, Casey. That's very, very, very poor marking up from Harbour there. And again, they take it forward with Henry Bell getting over the top of that. Ball comes back on their side. Vaitupu takes it forward. They look to set, and then they drive. Ball goes to ground again. McDowell's got it. Finds the big man himself. The big lock in. It'll come to me in a minute. Tucker. Ball comes back on the Harbour side. No. What's the referee say? No, now they go to ground. So they've still got it. They're charging forward through Vaitupu again. They're just outside the 22. Tane Hand in there looking for it. It's got it. He's found a runner. And he's found Ben Ellis. I think Ben Ellis has come onto the field.
Harbour need to hold the discipline here.
And McDowell, they go wide. What's he going to do here, Miller? I bet he gets taken down on the tackle. They try and get over that one again. But again, Kaikorai have done well to retain possession. Looking for runners. Rico Fisher goes wide. He's found number 21. I'm not even sure who number 21 is. That'll be Mason Lome Hindle. Ball comes back on to Tane Hand. Again, they smash it forward. Just outside the 22. Hand's got it again. Breen's got it. Looking for a runner. He's found the big number 3 in Tucker. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. And then it's a bit untidy. Referee says play on. Kaikorai trying to spoil it, but Harbour trying to spoil it, but Kaikorai have still got it. Miller takes it forward. Sees a hole. Gets taken to ground. Still inside the 22. Again, they charge it forward through Tucker. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. They try to disrupt it. Again, and it's Bell this time. Nice strong charge from Bell, but they're still 15 metres out. Referee says we've got a knock on.
Good defence from Harbour there.
Solid defence from Harbour. They did enough. Have they got top? There's still 13, 14 minutes to go in this game. Remember, it's 36-29. Kaikorai up over Harbour. This coverage today brought to you by Garador.
Well, both teams just throwing everything at it. But Lee, in the last 10 minutes of a final, no one gets tired.
No, they don't. And look, it's to your point, OB, they've just got to hang in here, Harbour. Their turn will come. It's just the way footy goes. You know, you get your turn. But even a penalty to Harbour, to Kaikorai at this part of the game would make it tough for them. So they're only a score away. They could get it back to 36 all, and then all hell would break loose. So, yeah, Hastie's the key here.
So, lads, if we brought on a new halfback, I think we have, and looks like Hastie's gone out to first 5.
Yeah, that'll be to do exactly what he's going to do now. Try and get some field position.
So I'm just not sure. That could be Tataru Crothers that's come on. Breen's got it now. Breen runs again, as he does. They find Fowler at 13. They try to drag him to touch, and they do a really good job, Harbour. They drag him over the touchline. They needed to put that kick into the corner. They've gone quickly. Rico Milne fires it out to the new halfback, Crowthers. And again, it's big Lome Morris taking it up over halfway. And they're in there looking for it. Crowthers has got it. And they charge it up towards the 10-metre line. Can they get themselves back into the game? They're down by 7, probably 11 or 12 to go in the game. Rico Milne finds a hole, just gets through, and just about got it away, but they didn't knock it on. Ball came back on their side. Referee says, I'm not sure what he says, penalty Kaikorai. Didn't let it go on the tackle.
Yep, neither side seem to be able to grab this game by the scruff of the neck. They're giving each other plenty of opportunities at the breakdown to turn the ball over, but it's a final.
Yeah, that was disappointing from Harbour there, OB, because they had Big Will Tucker got his hands on that. I thought he might have penalised him straight away, but he said play on, and then he penalised him. But that's not out. Oh, it is out. Ooh.
No, she said it was out.
Yeah, they're not happy here. They're not happy down here.
They're blowing up. They're blowing
right
up.
in front of the Harbour crowd. Aaron Doherty on this side.
Aaron's not making a backward step.
No, but this is key part again here inside, or just about inside the last 10. If Kite could strike, it might be all over.
Righto, so this line-out's going to form right on the 22 with one of the Harbour boys down with a cramping issue. But it will be a Kaikorai line-out with Henry Bell to throw.
Well, they're down
and
to
you
14.
can guarantee they'll be looking to Tucker. And funnily enough, they did. Took it down with one hand. Lucas Casey makes a charge inside the 22. Comes back on the Kaikorai side. And again, it's McDowell. McDowell charging, looking for a runner. Found him. In terms of Casey, then goes to ground. They're 6 or 8 metres out. Comes back on the Kaikorai side. Can Harbour hold them out here? Or do they get it up? Again, McDowell's got it. Glutton for punishment, McDowell. They're looking for runners. Ben Miller, then he falls over. Ball comes back on their side. The hands over the top. Picked up by, somehow Harbour's got that and flicked it away. They need to get that pass wide. Couldn't get it. Couldn't make it. McDowell again. He's found his man. Has he scored? Referee says no, held up. But Kaikorai are right on the line. They're going to go blind here. They've got numbers. He's got his arm out for a penalty as well, and he's penalised them. I think he should have played some advantage there, but he's gone back for the penalty.
Well, Harbour, the old stager, Waisaki Naholo, did a brilliant job turning that ball over under the post. They moved it left. They actually had an overlap there, Paul, and they just didn't execute.
Yeah, we're just going to the sideline here, fellas, so just hold your horses. Aaron Doherty coming in, talking to Caleb Nielsen.
What's he saying? He's talking to Harbour. And he comes back. He's called the captains forward. No, he's having a chat with Harbour here. Probably telling them to... And now I'm not sure what he's doing, to be perfectly honest.
Yep, Kaikorai could ice this here.
Yep. They've got a man on the ground, and I think that is the second 5. Puna Hihi. He is down, and the referee said they're gonna have the shot at goal by the look of it, because they've got the penalty anyway.
Well, the forwards are grouped behind the kicker, so it's unclear, but they should absolutely take the 3.
They should take the 3.
Put it beyond 7 going to the last 8 minutes. And
sanity has prevailed, and Lucas Casey says we'll go for the 3 points, and it'll be Ben Miller to take this shot at goal. 36-29, there's 8 minutes to go in the game. This could ice it for them. This would give them a 10-point lead. And
great play by Waisaki Naholo there, showing all his experience in turning that ball over.
Nobody's been singing the Waisaki Naholo song out there today. The Harbour supporters looking a wee bit subdued over there, Lee.
Well, they'll be singing it if they can get up and score 8 points in the next 8 minutes.
Yeah, this would be a tough blow though, wouldn't it? It would really then, inside 8 minutes to go, Harbour would have to score inside the next sort of 4 or 5 and then hope. So if he nails this, it will be tough.
36-29. Can he put this to bed, Ben Miller? He's 15 metres in, just inside the 22. I think he has drained it, absolutely drained it. Penalty to Miller, and that makes it 39-29.
Well, it's certainly advantage Kaikorai heading into the last 7 minutes of this match. What have Harbour got? How deep can they dig here?
And it's the wee first 5, Rico Milne, to get us underway. Puts it down. Who's going to catch that? And again, it's been well picked up by I think that's Vaitupu. He's making.
Oh, what a run!
That's a big run. He's still going. Number 20. What a run from him. Takes it all the way to the 22. Harbour finally get back there and get him, and it's come back to Tane Hand. Now It's in the hands of Breen. It's in the hands of Miller. They go wide to Casey. Casey with his pace. Casey all the way through. That's all over. That's all she wrote. Lucas Casey under the bar.
And the captain will seal it for Kaikorai. What a run. He's been strong all over the park, and we talked about him being influential, Lee, and there you go, sealing the game with a try.
Yeah, and he ended up in the right space, as you call it, Paul, there. Vaitupu, who came on, took it from the kickoff. There was no one in front of him, and he just steamed off. Casey stayed out wide, and it was a numbers, and he just came onto it beautifully at pace, and he looked good about 25 metres out, and that's, to quote you, Paul, all she wrote. And already behind me, the Kaikorai boys are fizzed up. It's going to be a big night up at Bishop's Court.
Only their second, I think it's only their second, could be their second banner they've won since, I think, going way back since 1986.
Yeah, the funny thing is, Paul, they came in and qualified sixth.
They did, and that's happened now. Let's think about that. I mean, Southern won 2 banners from sixth, and Ben Miller takes that conversion, and it's over 46-29. And we've got 5 minutes to go. I'm afraid that is all she wrote. I think Harbour are out on their feet.
Yeah, certainly the Kaikorai supporters will be enjoying this last 5 minutes. Henry Bell's going off. What an afternoon he's had. He'll get a rich round of applause from the Kaikorai faithful.
And just put back in the hands. Referee says penalty to Harbour. So these boys have to score. Do they go to the line-out, lads, and they hope they can actually drag one down?
Oh,
as long as they throw away from Tucker.
They need a miracle, so they've got to go to the corner.
They've got to go to the corner. Ball's finally back in their hands as the clock winds down, 46-29. And as he's going to go to the corner. Rike Milne, that's an average kick. Really, he had to put that out 5 metres from the corner. He's put it out 15 metres from the corner, or 10 metres from the corner.
And Lee, you talked about not throwing it potentially anywhere near Will Tucker this time.
Yeah, well, Tucker's just in front of me here. Tucker's moved to the front, so yeah, go to the back and see if you can do something there. Let's have a look, fellas.
And again, it's come down on the Kaikorai side. There could have been a knock on there as well. But Kaikorai have picked this ball up on their own 5 metre line. But Miller back in the pocket. It's back in the hands of Miller, and he finds touch. Didn't gain a lot of ground. He's only gained a yard, in fact. But
he's been one of their steadiest players today. He's found touch when he needed to. He's run the ship well.
And so here we go. So time is winding down. We're only got 4 minutes to go now.
Yeah, one of the problems for Harbour is their strength is their line-out drive, but they can't get their line-out going.
And they still, Lucas Casey this time gets up and drags it down right in front of their jumper. Things are just not going to plan. I mean, they'll be looking at it and saying the line-out has cost us this game. They just haven't done enough. And their scrum that was dominant in the first half, they've taken a couple of their bigger fellas off. That's not as going as well as it was either.
I reckon they've lost about 8 to 10.
Yeah, but credit to Kaikorai fellas. They've obviously targeted the line-out. They knew what the game plan was for Harbour. They've done a great job of disrupting their source of ball. And they're well worth their lead at the moment.
So we throw to the line-out. We finally win one. Harbour finally win one, and they get the drive going. The trouble is they've got 18 metres to go. And they're getting dragged towards the touch line. They need to move this back infield. They slowly start moving it back infield. No, that's great work from Kaikorai. The ball goes to ground, comes back on the Harbour side, though. Looking for some ball runners, looking for some strong ball runners now. Good D from Kaikorai. They gut up there quickly. Will Tucker was really fast up to that. Obviously hasn't played for quite a few weeks. In fact, probably forever. Ball comes wide. Hasty's got it. He's found Monet Samate.
Great defence by Breen.
He goes to ground. Ball comes back on their side again, looking for another ball runner. They find Wasaki Naholo in there to try and give them a hand. They've got numbers if they can get this wide. Wee bit slow getting it there. Morris has got it. Morris is through the hole, but taken down on a tackle. Ball comes back on the Harbour side. Where they're looking for runners. They've found a big, strong runner in the midfield. That's Go Verts. Ball comes back on the Harbour side again. Can they get across and put some pressure on? Boston Hunt takes it forward. Ball comes down again, looking for a runner. They find Tony Tafua. Tony Tafui. Can he score? No, he's held up 3 metres out. Ball comes back on the Harbour side. Can they get over? Can they get over? Again, they're dragged back. Great bait Kaikorai defence. Ball comes back again. They found Milne. Milne goes wide, and Monet Samade crashes over in the corner. 46-34, kick to come.
Yeah, well, a good try, but too little too late, really. And Kaikorai showing their character. You know, they could have clocked off a minute or two ago, but they've hung in and they made Harbour really work for that try.
Yeah, I tell you what, fellas, though, there was an absolute knock-on when Tafil went through and went to ground. He just spilled it completely forward, and it was just missed on the side. But yeah, good consolation try there for Harbour.
And a nice kick to finish it. So that's 46. Brought it back to a 10-point lead, 46-36 with that conversion. But we've only got 1 minute to go, and I just don't think 1 minute it converts into 10 points, lads.
They'll be putting the pies in the pie warm at Bishop's Court now, you think, Paul?
I think they will be starting to celebrate. I wouldn't want to be there tonight, you fellas. I just wouldn't want to be up there tonight. They'll be going off at Bishop's Court, up in the high veld there tonight. They've deserved to win this final, and they've gone out and won it from, as the boys have said, from sixth position. Ben Miller to get us underway again with less than a minute on the clock.
They're a proud club, Kaikorai, and these 23 guys have done them proud today. They've hung in there 46-36.
And they this will certainly help them with their ain shield. They've been looking for that ain shield to take it off the Sharks, and this will go a long way to doing that. Ball comes back on the Harbour side again. They drive it forward, go to ground, but only 10 metres outside their 22. They need to go. They need to go wide. They haven't really got numbers wide. Monet Samade's got it again. He just scored that try. He goes through a couple of tackles. Ball comes back on the Harbour side. They've got a few reserves on now, Kaikorai. And again, they're looking for numbers, but they're just running around in circles here. They really need to get this wide, and they've got it out wide by hook or by crook. And the ball comes forward, but they still haven't made a lot of ground. Nice tackle there. Ball comes back on the Harbour side. But they're buried in their own territory. Ball comes back again, looking for a runner. Then there's a wee kick over top from the halfback. And again, there's a big knock on there from the... Here we go. Can they get this wide? Luca Fuller. But again, it's McDowell. He's all over the paddock, McDowell. And there's another wee kick going forward. Monet Samade chasing after this. He gets this. He scores. He's heading towards the line. Can he get across? Can he get across? He does!
He does.
Try! Beautiful try to Samade.
But that's 80 minutes on the clock, so I think after this conversion that'll be
46-41, kick to come, but 80 minutes on the clock. It just depends what the referee says. That was good work though from Monet Samade to get that down before he got bundled into touch.
Is there hope on the sideline, Lee, for the Harbour faithful?
No, that's. I think that's it, fellas. Although I haven't heard to go, but the 80 minutes is definitely gone. But it just shows missed the conversion as well. Although we're coming back. We've got time.
46-41. Hold the phone. We're in referee's time. 46-41.
But maybe there's some injury time. I didn't see a lot of injury in the second half, but the clock says 80 minutes.
So here we go, lads. 80 minutes up on the clock, but we're in the hands of Caleb Nielsen.
And Kaikorai rushing back to take the kick.
Yeah, they're just storming back, but
this here would be one of the great stories, wouldn't it? You're down 17 or 20 points with 3 to go, and you come back and score it with a converted try.
46-41. We've probably only got a couple of plays at best, but what can they do, Harbour? They've got a bonus point right now, lads, which is important. And that's been knocked back by Tucker. Yeah. That's crucial for Tucker.
It'll go out here.
And that could be it. What does he say? What does he say? It's all over. 46-41. Kaikorai are the 2025 Spates Championship winners, and boys, you'd have to say that was a deserved victory from them.
Oh, definitely on balance. They break it open just before the 60-minute mark with that double strike, Lee Piper. Bang, bang, 14 points, and really from there it was all uphill for Harbour.
Yeah, but it was their key players. I mean, there'll be a lot of emotion and they'll look back. But we talked about it right at the outset, didn't we? Who's going to stand up for both teams? And I think it was a battle of those key players. McDowell was unbelievable again today, just showing experience in finals of what you need. Guys like Bell, some great support from Lucas Casey, who stood up when he wanted. And Paul, you talked about him in the commentary, but Ben Miller, I thought he had another cracking game. He's got a big boot on him. He kicked the goals that mattered. And in the end, you know, probably that scoreline's a bit flattering for Harbour. But again, if you look at the Harbour boys, just in summary, lads, you know, Nathan Hastie had a big impact on the game again. Milne probably not as good as he'd been earlier on in the season, but it came back to those crucial moments. They just couldn't get their line out going, which we saw in that first half. When they did, it was a massive weapon. So was the scrum. So they just didn't quite get to their kind of strengths. But I thought Kaikorai did a great job in shutting down that Harbour line out. They knew it was coming, and they did a good job there. So I think, on the balance of probability, I think it's a well-deserved win for Kikarai. Congratulations.
Yeah, so look, there it is. It's 46-41. It's all over here. Just our thanks to our sponsor, Garador. If you're looking for a Garador, get across to Kaikorai Valley and see my old mate Gerald. And thanks to Elevate Analysis for their coverage today. We hope you enjoyed watching that live on the ODT website. And that's just about a wrap from us. Remember that, 46-41. Kaikorai win the banner over Harbour. And that's all she wrote from us.